Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Wrexham reaction for Match Day 22, Wrexham AFC 2, Newport County 0. Yes, big, fat 0, and it's a great game today. Big derby win. Got a lot to get to. Yes, I'm huddled in the corner in the house down in the Palm Desert, but we want to get this out to you. Going to do a reaction, and it is Christmas time and everything, so we got to get it out. We got to do whatever we can. But I did figure out behind me. Look at that. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. I enjoyed putting that up. Like, okay, there's that. There's that. Oh man, look at. I mean, it's almost like I know what I'm doing, but I really don't. But let's get into the game. This was a fantastic game. It was the first game. It was the first game with four sides at the Racecourse Ground in 15 years since they beat Boston back in 2007. So. What a great game. Got a lot to get to. Got to walk through what Parkinson said, our man of the match. As you can see, Believe It. That's the title of the show, Believe It. So really excited to see Elliot Lee step up. But yeah, we're gonna walk through it and want to talk about a few positive things and some things that may be concerned about going into January. But fantastic win today, 3 points, keeping pace with Stockport and with Barrow, and we need to do. So we needed maximum points today. And big up to everyone that came on the show today. Mike, Addison Madison, Just Fraz, and Faz from the United Stand popped in for a little bit today too. Chicky Brewer, everybody. So growing the community. We also we have a Discord coming on. So really great stuff. So I appreciate everyone coming in and like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff. So thank you very much. But let's dive into this. I want to talk about the Derby Day victory, the clean sheet. AO was back. Really excited to see him come and do his thing. But again, biggest crowd. It was since 2007, 12,000. Sorry, where is that? I was trying to 12,095, 1,139 away Newport County fans that traveled. I think that's great. So big up to Newport County, 17th in the division. And I thought they did a really solid job today themselves, had a great account of themselves. So was actually an overall really fantastic match to watch. Could have went another way. And I want to talk about that too. It actually could have went another way because, we rode our luck a little bit in the first half. I think Parkinson's halftime speeches must be fucking epic. And I use the swear word and I apologize because, he's known for swearing and we're just going to cuss ourselves. But they must be epic because we go out there and, it's a different life. And yes, we're going into the new cop stand, which was, beautiful to see. The crowd was in it the entire time. But, sometimes I think we're not lazy. We just get a little bit lackadaisical in the midfield. And credit to JJ coming in, and we had him on the thumbnail for Someone Needs to Step Up. JJ did really well. Andy Cannon did really well, and Elliot Lee, our man of the match, as you can see up top, my man of the match, and I think it was for everyone else too. But I felt bad. Let me pause a little bit there. I felt bad just putting one man on the thumbnail because I thought Ellie was fantastic. And I want to get a great credit out to some of the players that played really well and were so could have been on that thumbnail as well. Max Cleworth, okay, standout. He came in. O'Connell had an injury, pulled his calf, and Parkinson talked about it in pregame, and he pulled out. Max Cleworth apparently has been training really well. Parkinson said after the match, and he deserves his opportunity. He has Willie Boyle on the bench, who is a veteran and he's fantastic. But Cleworth, a young player, I thought he played really well. He's a standout to me. He stepped in late and did great. Really calm on the ball. Looks like he's been there a lot longer than he should have. But he was really great. James Jones, again, James Jones, he came in, had a bit of an up and down game, a great goal, first goal in front of the cop. So congrats to him. These were not easy conditions as well. The conditions weren't great. The conditions were, it was windy. It had rained. The pitch was, kind of up and down. But James Jones did really good. Johnny on a spot goal. Off a Tozer throw in, and it was those set pieces. Really, we need to take charge of them. So I thought he played really well as well. John McClain, James McClain, John McClain. Yippee-ki-yay, mother. The rest. He played well. He played hard. That grit at the back and at that left side. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear. I got someone sneezing out here. My father-in-law is sneezing, so I apologize. Again, working without a net, and that's what's great about this channel. I'm really loving it. But anyways, back to the McLean played really hard, really well. Some tackles he put in, some crosses he put in were absolutely immense, and he just goes through players. And he's for this league, for his age, I think he's so solid. And God knows what he's like in the dressing room. I don't know if he's a quiet player, but he. I really felt he just puts himself about every single match. You know what you're going to get. There's no let up in him. He's got that mentality, head down, go. I'm going to go kick someone. I'm going to go kick someone if it's not going right, or I'll put a great cross in. I'll put a fantastic cross in, and he does. So shout out to McLean. Mullen also ran himself about, didn't stop for a minute, was battling against the defenders from minute one, backing into them, got no love from the goddamn ref. No love. It was WWF out there, dropping elbows, getting his shirt pulled in. I thought Mullen was. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's probably the fourth sneeze. It's gone on. That's enough. So if you can, amazing. So, anyways, Mullen, literally, he was fighting all day. He was unlucky not to score. Whipped him across the middle. Could have had a tap in, but he battled the entire match, and I'm really proud of him and what what he put in today too. G'ing up the crowd at the end, fantastic. So Mullen, it's another one. Mullen was fantastic, battling through. And then one guy I want to also shout out before we go and talk about man of the match, Elliott Lee, is Arthur Okonkwo. Clean sheet, back in action, 22 years old, broken jaw, wearing the face mask, and I thought he was stellar. 2 fantastic saves to keep us in. If he didn't make those saves at that time, a near post save could have been a different match, because my overall point, we believe it, and it's Lee is on the. It's not on the title there anymore. Hold on, I'm gonna get that up. See, live TV. There you go. Believe it. There you go. If he didn't make those saves, it could have been a different story. And I felt like he kept us in the match and had the communication in the back. And Parkinson mentioned this too. I want to talk about that. What Parkinson said about the communication. It was fantastic. So I thought Arthur Okonkwo coming in was great. It's good to have him back. He said that when he went to Arsenal, got his jaw fixed. Wrexham fitted him with the mask. And got him right back in as soon as he could. He was, he said he was a little not rusty, but he said getting back into the game was something that, he had to fight to get back in, because he's battling a broken jaw. So good on him. I thought he was fantastic, and like I said, it could have been different. He mentioned they asked him about being with the cop behind him. He said it was great support. The crowd was awesome, and it was a beautiful sight to see. And it's only going to get better in regards to having that stand full, and then we get the future cop, the actual the one we're going to build, the mainstay, the main cop. This is the temp cop. Okay, I'm fumbling over the words there, but he was so delighted to be back, and everyone was bigging him up. But now let's talk about Elliott Lee. Elliott Lee has scored 13 goals this season. He's got the most goals for the team. He is the man of the match for me. I thought he played solid. He was jumping. He was everywhere, every blade of grass. And it didn't happen. It couldn't happen if JJ didn't do what he was doing. Obviously, getting the first goal, good for him. First goal into the cop, and Andy Cannon put himself about. But Elliott Lee, his movement off the ball, his movement on the ball, able to hold off defenders, has a low sense of gravity. He's so very positive. He's never looking for a square ball if you need to, but he's always looking to go forward. He's always looking to find that forward pass, moving through and charging on. Much like McLean too. McLean is always looking to charge forward. Elliott Lee, off the Tozer throw, great nicking header in there to make it 2-0 to settle everyone's nerves. I thought he was fantastic, and that's why he is my man of the match, and we believe it. Yeah, I love it. And also the Christmas colors in there too. Also go with Wrexham, which is great. So, but those are my guys that played really well. And I hated to put one up there, but I wanted to shout out all of them. And just let everyone know that this team battles together, and the town battles together. It seems that everyone's coming around, and it's kind of indicative that now we have a 4-sided stadium, and everyone's kind of hugging around the players and really getting positive. And we're going to need it. We got maximum points today, and we needed it. Stockport won. Barrow 1. Everyone else is coming up behind us. I'm just looking at the table here. It's tight. Mansfield, it's right up our ass. Crew, Notts County. But it's going to be a battle. This league is not going to give us the league. We're going to have to go after it, and it's going to be to the end of the season. January's coming up, we talked about losing out. I think Mike brought this up on the stream. Credit to Mike. Great support, and he's helping us out getting things going with the stream and also with the Discord. But I got to say, they're not going to give it to us. What I was saying is we lost a couple strikers. I don't think we need a striker. Fletch came back. Great to see Fletch back. We didn't think he'd be back as soon as he was, but Fletch was back in. We got Fletch. We got Palmer. Unfortunately, he was out today, and we don't know exactly why. So probably have to look into that. But Fletch, Palmer, and Dalby. Dalby was he played hard. I think his hold-up play is okay. Not as good as Palmer's. But it's going into the January window. I don't know if we need a striker. I think we're okay. I think Mullen hasn't even hit his stride yet. I really would concentrate on this midfield. I would concentrate on possibly getting someone to sit next to Lee and Gio when he comes back. But JJ and Cannon did play well, but I want that person who can pick a lock when we need to when they're sitting in. And I feel like our midfield kind of gets passed because we're trying to go on the break and put the ball up to Mulls or Dalby or Palmer when they're backing into defenders. And it's not that it's not working. It's not, it doesn't. I don't know what's going on here. If you can hear any of that, it just doesn't. It doesn't fit to what I think could be like getting into those tougher games later on in the season where we need to have good passage to play, someone to step on the ball and actually unpick a lock. That said, did we go off again? We did go off again, and I'm going to put it back up. I did. Look at that. I did it. Anyways, moving on. So we need a midfielder, not a striker. So if we're losing strikers, whatever. I don't care. Again, I'm going to talk about Parkinson. Some of the stuff he talked about. He's talked about JJ, his reaction to the box, one of those types of games. Halftime, they wanted to grow into the games. He wanted to have the first and second balls, and I didn't think in the first half we were getting to those first and second balls to get ahead. But in that second half, we did. Whatever his halftime talks are, they're epic. I want to be in there, and I know they're in there in some of the Welcome to Wrexham stuff, but guy's got a great halftime talk, obviously. AO, he mentioned he had 2 excellent saves, key moments in the game. Parkinson talked about O'Connell, his calf tightened, gave big ups to Max, who stepped in, which is great. Also, Traveling Cup, got the Traveling Cup with us. He said Max was solid at the back. He gave Max some credit. Tozer, the difficult throwing the ball in with the swirling winds. If anyone was there, I know Just Fraz on it was talking about, and big up to Just Fraz. Just Fraz was talking about how there was like a wind. There was a ton of wind. So, all those things to play in, it was the final home game of 23. And, I thought Parkinson led the team as he always does. To a win, and it mentioned it in some of his conversations here. He talked about the record attendance going into it, kicking the ball into that end, and for sustained periods we were on top. He mentioned there was like 10 minutes that we were not. We kind of sat back a bit, and that's not what we need to do. And that to the point, it's like going long, I don't think always helps us out. We got to figure out this midfield going into these next few games, and they are coming thick and fast. JJ had a great interview. He said it wasn't the purest wins, but he said it's difficult and situation in regards to like the pitch and all that stuff. So he mentioned they want to stay patient, they want to build pressure, and I thought they did. Like I said, I thought JJ did well. I think he's going to grow into it. He had a great goal, Johnny on the spot goal. So good on him. And I want to see him get better as we go. The bench for me isn't so solid. We got to figure out some of this bench and some of the sub players that are coming in. So that's something we're going to work on into that point. Max Clearwith was outstanding today, and that was brought up in several of the conversations afterwards. So what else is going on? All right, so next up, let's talk about next up. Swindon Town is up next, who lost today. They're in 13th place. They lost to Tranmere 2-1. We'll do a match preview. We'll try. I know it's Christmas, but we'll try to do a match preview. I want to get this out there, and if you can deal with whatever the hell I have going on here, that's great. But I appreciate it. We'll try to get a match preview up. And on the 26th, on Boxing Day, we will be doing a watch along 7 a.m. kickoff for us here. It's a 3 a.m. kickoff back home. Great Boxing Day. We'll be festive. It's great. We'll maybe we'll have some eggnog. I don't know. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. That is an away match. They're traveling to I think it's what is it called? The county ground. Yeah, we'll be at the county ground. But this is the Derby done. We took this out. It was a hard fought battle. One thing I also want to mention too, and I hate to do this, the ref was awful. He was absolutely awful. I know we mentioned it briefly earlier. The ref was god awful. Let things go in a bad way. Kind of got away from him in a bit. I know last year when we were watching in the National League, we didn't get any calls. We got nothing. Mullen was mauled today at certain parts of the match. Could have had a penalty, maybe not. But the ref was awful. Absolutely awful. And we fought against that. And that is so good and so indicative of this team and what we're doing. But it's 3 big ones today. 3 big ones. And believe it. Yeah, believe it. I know he's up there. So many of the players played well today. And I'm so proud of it. Also, to Stash. I want to talk about Stash. O'Connell. He's just kind of a steady Eddie. And I don't mean it in a bad way, because I know it's like a bad not a bad word, but steady Eddie. He's just on there. He's so good on the ball, wins a lot of headers. Tozer was great. So all performance, it was not an easy match. It wasn't those 5-0 wins. It was a battle and a clean sheet to boot. So, and we got to keep pace. As we look at the standings now, Stockport win, Barrow won, Mansfield are up our ass, who have a game in hand. We have a game in hand on Stockport, not Barrow. So the table looks like this. Stockport with 49 points, played 23. Barrow are tied with us with 43 points. They're in second because they have a goal diff of 2 better. Stockport and Barrow play on Boxing Day. We're going to watch that game. I think Mike and I are going to watch, and everyone else I'm going to obviously going to watch the Wrexham game. If I can keep an eye on the other game too, the Stockport game, I will. Stockport, it's a very important game. Mansfield, they're rock and roll. They won 2 on the bounce. They have 42 points, but they played 21 games. They're on 4th place. Crew with 37, 22 games played, and Notts County with 36. So it's Stockport, Barrow, Wrexham, Mansfield, Crew, and Notts County and Wimbledon. So lots going on. We got a big game coming up against Swindon Town. I want to keep these maximum points going. Appreciate everyone coming on. Like, share, subscribe, get this out there. And, great. Thanks for the support. We're on our way to 500. We're on our way to 500 subs. And then we're on our way to 1,000, and then God knows where from there. But let's just start. I love growing this community, and I'm really just happy to meet some good people that love football. So, all right, that is your Wrexham reaction. Wrexham 2, Newport 0. Great Derby win. The cop went up. Record attendance, 12,095. Yeah, on that bombshell, it is Christmas Eve. Take care of yourselves, and we will talk soon.